Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to look at the aging method for preparing the allowance for doubtful accounts of our accounts receivables. This is based on the age of each individual group of the accounts receivable and the percentage of expected to default. On January 1st, Rodriguez has the following balances: accounts receivables $224,000, and allowance for doubtful accounts $6,700. During the year, Rodriguez has 3.1 million credit sales, collected 3,015,000, and wrote off $60,000 of accounts receivables that was uncollectible. Okay, so if we look at the information, total accounts receivable is 224,000, and then allowance for doubtful account is 6,700. Okay, so total accounts receivable here is 224,000 on debit, and allowance for doubtful accounts 6,700 here on credit. Okay, that's January 1st. And then during the year, Rodriguez had $3 million, 100,000 of credit sales, collected $3 million, 15,000 of accounts receivables, and wrote off $60,000. So let's prepare the journal entry for the credit sales, $3.1 million, collected 3,015,000, and wrote off $60,000. Okay, so the journal entry for the sales is going to be accounts receivable 3.1 million, and sales revenue 3.1 million. Okay, so our receivables will go up by 3,100,000. Okay, we don't have the T account for revenue, so we can ignore that. And then the company collected 3,015,000. So the company will collect cash 3,015,000 and cancel the accounts receivable 3,015,000. Okay, so we put it here on credit to reduce the amount 3,015,000. Okay, and then wrote off $60,000 using the allowance here. Debit allowance for doubtful accounts, $60,000, and we cancel the accounts receivable for that customer because they couldn't pay. Okay, so accounts receivable goes down by 60,000, and allowance goes down by 60,000 debit. Okay, so after those transactions, let's take a look at the ending balance of the allowance for doubtful accounts. Now we have a negative 53,300 allowance because we wrote off more than what we had. So it's a negative balance. And for the accounts receivables, we have the debit plus debit minus the credit minus the credit, $249,000. So that's our accounts receivable by the end of the year. That's the allowance balance at the end of the year. Now with aging schedule for this $249,000 receivable, okay, we have to estimate how much allowance is needed. So this company group its receivables into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different groups. The current receivables, overdue 30 days, overdue 2 months, overdue 3 months, overdue more than 3 months. The amount for each group and the probability of default. The more current receivables have lower probability of default, the older the receivables, they have the higher probability of default. So what we need to do is to calculate the allowance by multiplying the expected default rate times the amount. Okay, so of that 165,000, 2.5% is expected to default. That's 4,125. And we do that for each group. So we multiply the default rate times the total amount, we get the expected allowance required for each group. And after we do that for each group, we can calculate the total. Okay, the total needed is $7,200. So what that means is we are going to need $7,200 here. Okay, that's what is needed for our allowance based on the aging schedule. Right now we have a negative $53,300. So how much is needed to make it $7,200? So what we need to do is we prepare this adjusting entry, bad debt expense, and we are going to increase the allowance for doubtful account needed to make it $7,200. So what we need to do is 53,300 negative plus 7,200. So 53,300. Yep. Plus 7,200. So we're going to need $60,500 here. Okay, so if we put 60,500 and we add those two, okay, so we get 7,200, exactly what we need here. So this is from the adjustment. Okay, 60,500. And then we create bad debt expense 60,500. So with the percentage of receivables or aging schedule, how much we have as our ending balance determines how much we need to adjust. With percentage of sales, we don't care how much ending balance we have. We just need to put a percentage of the credit sales as the bad debt expense, regardless how much balance we have on the allowance. Okay, so that's how we prepare the adjusting entry using the aging method. And then on January 15, a customer declared that it could not pay $524 obligation to the company, but now we have this allowance of 7,200, so we are good. Okay, so let's prepare the adjustment. Debit allowance for doubtful accounts, 524, and we cancel the accounts receivable for that person, 524. So if we look at our accounts receivable, it should go down by 524. So the ending balance is 248,476. Okay. And for the allowance, 524, the ending balance is 7,200 minus 524. We have 6,676. And how are we going to report it on the balance sheet? Okay, with the write-off, accounts receivables is 248,476. The allowance after the write-off is 6,676. So the net receivable is going to be 241,800. Okay, before the write-off, the accounts receivable is 249,000. If we do it before this 524 write-off, and the allowance before the write-off is 7,200. Okay, if we add those two, we have the same amount of net receivables, 241,800. So you see that under the allowance method, the write-off a specific account, this $524, does not affect the amount of net receivables reported on the balance sheet. That's how we prepare this aging schedule to calculate the allowance required for that accounts receivables. Thank you for watching.